It's definitely coming from underneath the intake. Can you pump it more? Yeah, it's coming from under the intake. Just where? So this is a BMW N52 engine, and we're having some vacuum issues on cold start. It just dies. It can't even idle on cold start. It'll die right away and then start back up, and the idle kind of goes up and down. And I'm assuming that the CCV or the lower CCV hose is gone bad again, or maybe this cap has gone bad because there's a little bit of oil, but that's normal. So we're gonna test out and see where our vacuum leak is coming from. We're right now exploring how to check for vacuum leaks, and I'm now in INPA right now. I know it is in German, and what we want to check for is this airflow, the mass airflow sensor. Now, I was reading in the forums, and I have to go and look this up again, but we can read the mass airflow sensor, how much it's flowing. This will help us to check and see if too much air is getting into the engine or not, because it will adjust it. Now, one of these, though, will just be a flat 8 kilos per hour, and the other ones will actually be measuring. This will go up and down like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we want to be checking to see if it hits 13, because that's where around the idle is. Now, what's been happening is when the car is cold, it's cold right now, I haven't started yet for the day, it automatically, the computer automatically goes to a specific map setting, because it can't read the lambda sensors or the oxygen sensors yet until those are warmed up. So it just goes to a stock map, and normally what happens is, because there's too much air getting into the engine because of the vacuum leak, it will stall because there's too much air getting in there. So until the oxygen sensors and lambda sensors are warmed up, which we can see here. Oh, why is that one at like 1,000,000 ohms? No, it's not there. Until we see the lambda sensors warm up, which I guess I gotta go back, then exhaust here. Once we see the lambda sensors warmed up, then the engine can start to change the settings in terms of like how much fuel and stuff like that to get it to idle properly. So I've already driven the car and checked the lambda sensors. Everything seems to be fine. So I'm now guessing and assuming that it is a mass airflow sensor. Sorry, that it's a vacuum leak, and we can try and check that with the mass airflow sensor. So I'm going to start the car now. And what normally happens is the engine should just shut off. So I'm recording the screen. I'm gonna try and put these together on the screen for you, and I'll show you what it does. Airflow sensor is reading 28 to 30, which is a lot of air. Don't know if that's normal. That's probably not normal. So it's saying 23, 24, and when I put on the gas, it actually goes down and goes back up. And we're down to 11, 10, 11. So I'm gonna assume that we're getting, I don't know, it's an 11. Not enough air is getting in. See, now it's working like it's supposed to. When I put on the gas, it goes up, but it's down to 11. So it's letting in less air than it should. So that means maybe there is a leak. Is that right? Is my thinking correct here? There's less air getting in, so there must be a leak somewhere. Okay, so next step is we're gonna be to actually check and see where the leak is occurring using a smoke machine. So now we can actually go and take a look in the motor itself and see where that vacuum leak is coming from. I can actually hear it as I rev up the engine. I can hear a whoosh, and then it comes back down. So I'm assuming there is some vacuum leak somewhere in the engine, because even here it was saying there's not enough air getting in. But so there's air coming in from somewhere. The vacuum is not holding, or maybe my logic is flawed here, but I think that there is a vacuum leak somewhere. So let's check that out now. Okay, so I've upgraded my little smoke tester that I tried to make using just some fire, some WD-40 on a paper towel and some cloth. I went and bought an $8 soldering iron that we can now. I put some like baby oil on a cloth and then shoved it in here and wrapped it around things. So we're gonna try this now. It's connected with two little tire valves, one on each end, and I'm gonna connect my bike pump to this end, and then we're gonna put this end inside the intake in a second here, and we're gonna plug this in and let it create some smoke, and then we're gonna slowly pump it into the engine. Disconnect the map sensor here. Pull this guy out. And here, we're gonna put a little, we're just gonna put a rubber glove over this and then put a hole, and we're gonna feed in our tube, and then we're going to plug in our very innovative smoke machine. And we're gonna look around and see where it's coming from. Now, I assume it's gonna come out of somewhere from the intake or the CCV system. Maybe, but if it was leaking from a valve cover or something, it would be leaking oil as well. So maybe leaking from the cap here. I'm not sure. Let's just plug it in and check and see where it comes from. So, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's already some smoke appearing in the jar. It's actually coming out of here as well, which isn't good. I didn't know that was not sealed, but as you can see here, it's coming out of this hole here. Yeah, so we're gonna put this on. We're gonna start pumping, put this down here. I'm gonna start pumping. Oh wow, that's not good. See that when I pump, just coming out of there. So I'm gonna unplug this for a second. See if I can wrap that up with some tape or something. Electrical tape. Is there any such thing as fireproof tape? All right, fingers crossed. Plug that back in. Keep going. So you can see the bag is filling up whenever we pump it, which is a good sign actually. But if you notice right here, there's a bit of air here. It's definitely coming from underneath the intake. Can you pump it more? Yeah, it's coming from under the intake. Just where? I think it's coming from these diesel valves. Slowly. So it's coming out of this diesel valve, and it's coming out of this diesel valve. The good thing is, left side of the engine, there's nothing. And even if you open this, this is even sealed as well. So that's good. That's sealed. This is all sealed. Oh, and then here. You guys see that? The Vano seals also are gone, which we kind of knew about if you watched the previous video. So the DISA valves, but nothing from the CCV, which is very interesting. Both DISA valves are not sealed, and the Vanos are also not sealed, so that's good to know. We'll have to take this apart and like somehow reseal these. I guess the rubber bushing wore out, and that's letting air into the engine now, which is screwing up our idle. That's good it's not the CCV. That means that our CCV repair is still good to go. All right, it's the next day, and we are going to now take this apart again and take apart our DISA valves so that we can maybe put some silicone on there or something to seal the DISA valves back up, because right now they are leaking. And then maybe we'll do another smoke test just to make sure there aren't any other leaks that we're missing. So I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get to work. All right, so after very painstakingly long time, we were able to unhook this CCV hose, the top one and the bottom one. That sucks. I hate it. It's the hardest two hoses to do on the entire car. I actually broke the top one. I had to break the little tab to get it off. Well, now it's off. Now we need to remove the throttle body pipe. Actually, I don't need to be undoing this. Just need to undo the pipe. No, I think the pipe was like glued on or something last time I had it off, so we're just gonna take this whole thing off. Okay. Got it off. Just 4 bolts. Yeah, the gasket looks okay. There's a bit of oil in here, so I just put a little rag. Somewhat normal for there to be oil in here. And then I undid these screws. That pulls this out, the bigger DISA flap. And this is the gasket that has failed, I'm assuming because of the oil. So we'll have to do something about that. Maybe put some gasket sealer or something on there. Now I'm looking, how do you get, oh, the bolts are right here to get the other side's DISA valve off. Maybe it shares this one as well. There's the other one. And these are both good. So what we're gonna do is clean this up. I'm gonna brake clean all of this and all of this and put some gasket maker around the edges and then put it back in, and hopefully it'll seal back up and not give us any more vacuum leaks. Okay, so everything on the car is back together. Back together the intake and the air box and all that stuff. And I've let it sit overnight for the gasket maker to dry. And now, as you can see, the engine is cold. It's just the oil temperature is the outdoor temperature. I have not started the car yet today, and we're going to take a look at how much air is going into the engine now, how much is being measured. So let's start the engine and see if we get our rough idle again. And we don't. It's going up a little bit. So I'm going to let this warm up a little bit, and we'll see what this number comes down to. But it's not stumbling, it's not turning off, it's not yeah, so that's a good sign. That means our air leak is fixed. So the engine is finally idling normally. You can hear it kind of come down to around 650 RPM, and this is now at 12. It was just at 13. And let's see, I'll just rev it up a little bit. So it's at 13, 12. I think it should be at 13. Interesting. Maybe I'll go do some more Googling, but it seems like it's fixed our issue. So I'm gonna consider that a win. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you think that, well, now it's gone down to 11 again, 12. Maybe there is a little hole. If any of this stuff has been helpful for you, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like. We're gonna be fixing the Vanos. I've ordered the part, and we'll see, and I'll show you guys how to fix your Vanos in the next video or somewhere in there. Thank you so much for watching.